Okay, this is my guide and playthrough to Zelda Majora's Mask. As it is right now, this is probably going to be a full 100% run through and guide of this game. Alright, so first I'm going to have to mention a couple things. You might notice that the sound and video quality are not that great, mostly because I don't have a capture card or anything, so I just have to use this camera here. It's not too bad if you ask me, though, so it should be fine for just a school project, and that's the second thing. I'm doing this for a project at school known as the MYP Personal Project. It's basically a project where you can pick anything. And just playing through a game and recording it is something I've wanted to do for quite a long time, so I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to try it and get some credits for high school at the same time. And another thing that I need to mention, you might notice that this is the N64 version or GameCube version of the game. Well, there is a much better version available for the 3DS, but as I said, I don't have a capture card, and it'd be infinitely harder to just record a 3DS game with a camera, so this is the one I'm going to have to use. Alright, so now that that's all out of the way, might as well just let the intro run and then get started with this. Oh, something I forgot to mention. This is actually the GameCube version of Majora's Mask, so if the buttons on the top are a little weird looking, it's just because they're set for the GameCube version. Well, might as well use this time to talk a little bit about this game. This is known as one of the stranger games in the Zelda series, but also one of the best. The gimmick to this game is that it has a sort of time limit to it, and you have to beat it before the time limit runs out, but you can, well, actually, I will get into more of that stuff later. And the other thing about this game is its storyline is really, really short, which is another thing I should probably mention. Due to time limits, I might have to only do the story portion of this game, which for this one would be kind of a shame because this game is almost entirely made up of side quests, as we're going to see soon. Alright, so let's get this thing started. Just going to start the second file and name the character Link, because as most people probably know, that's his official name. Where is it? Also, sorry if I make a few mistakes here and there. I kind of have a pretty poor view of the screen at the moment. Okay, let's start the game. Also, I won't be reading most of the text because I get the feeling that most people out there can probably read it fine, and I know for a fact that the microphone camera on this quality on this thing is not very good, to say the least. Alright, so we finally have control after that scene. So, our ocarina and horse was just stolen by Skull Kid, the guy in the mask, and his two fairies. So, now we have to chase after him. So what we want to do here is just kind of walk forward and jump across these things. And just to go over the controls, R is shield, B swings the sword, and the control stick runs. Pretty simple. For now, there's more to it later, of course. Well then, looks like this is the part where we just got turned into the Deku Scrubs. So, pretty much, now what we need to do is just chase after that guy so we don't really look like this anymore. So there's kind of entirely new controls for this character. Well, I guess it's technically the same character, but the controls for him are completely different. Just, all he can do right now is push A to spin. That's it. And control stick to move, of course. I think you can still shield too. Yep, you can. Alright, so let's just go open that door and then keep walking along through here. Alright, so now right here we have... Oh, also, if Tattle wants to talk to you, you can push up and she'll talk to you. It's a lot like Navi from Ocarina of Time if you ever played that, except she doesn't talk to you nearly as much. In fact, she barely does at all. Oh, I forgot you just went over the controls there. I guess that makes all the things I was saying kind of pointless. So as I was saying, this is a Deku flower. You hold down A when playing as the Deku scrub. Release A, and you can fly around as a flower. Now, a lot of people think that you have a set time limit there, but you actually can only go a certain distance away from the flower in any direction, and you'll stay airborne. So remember that, especially for a certain thing coming up a little later. Alright, just got some more Deku flowers here, so let's just jump between these like before. Also, I guess when we're just doing this, there's something else I'd like to mention. All of the talking on these videos is done live, so please excuse any noises in the background. Right now there's no one else around, but this is one of the very few times that I ever had that I'm going to have that happen, so I kind of just took advantage of a one-in-a-lifetime golden opportunity here. Anyway, so we just got an item from that chest. These are Deku Knights. So, to equip items, just go into the menu with the start button, and push the button you want to equip it to. The items use the C buttons, or the C stick in most people's case, or the X and Y buttons in the 3DS version's case, so really a lot of them. I'm playing the GameCube version, so it's on the C stick. It'll be the same way on the Wii version, too. I didn't think I was going to make that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. Push the button to throw the Deku Nuts. They cause a flash. They stun and hurt some enemies. You can also use them. You can also drop them with B when in the air as the Deku. Alright, so that's targeting. You can lock on to certain things with the Z or L button in this case. And Tattle here is mentioning that this tree looks a lot like Formarin now. Might want to remember that. It's not really important, but it's an interesting little detail if you pay attention later on. Also, one thing I'd like to mention real quick. They changed this hallway completely in the 3DS version. I have no idea why they did that. I think they changed the clock tower, too. Dang, I wasn't supposed to mention that yet. Oh well. Alright, so now you just want to walk up these steps here, and, So now, just walk up to the door, and we'll be greeted by this guy. And here is one of the most famous quotes from this game. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Alright, so this is the Happy Mask Salesman, and he's asking us to go get back a precious mask that was stolen from him, and some precious item that was stolen from us that can apparently restore us to our original human form. So, now we're going to want to walk through that door and get to that, but he has to leave in 3 days, so we're on a bit of a time limit here. But, unfortunately, I can only take videos that are so long with this camera, so I think it would be a good idea to just stop this video right here for the time being. Alright, so that was the first part. I will see you back here for the second. Hope you found this helpful and interesting. Thanks for watching.